Hello, and welcome back to another series that we're going to do of cross stitch with me. This one is going to be on a project that I've been working on for years, on and off, mostly off, and that I have really been wanting to get back to, but just been putting it down on my, putting it further down on my priority list. So, but it's this Old World Map 2 from Golden Kite. I should find a good picture of it totally together, but I'll need to find something like that for you guys. But anyway, as you can see, I've gotten a lot done, and I've gotten very much not done. We're looking at this in total. Let's see here. Oops, sorry for the light reflection. I've stitched 53,893 stitches, but that's only 7.73%. This is almost 700,000 stitches. It's got like 230 colors or something, and so it's pretty crazy. It is pretty crazy. So over here on the right, when you look at all the different like colors that you can do, it's a little daunting when you see so many colors that have multiple thousands of stitches left. But that's what honestly, it's what I chose. When I looked at this pattern on Golden Kite, it was some years ago, and I had finished a full coverage piece, and I was like, what is the biggest, most, I hadn't discovered like hate at that point. I don't know why, but I discovered Golden Kite for myself, and so I went to Golden Kite, and they do a lot of these beautiful just max colors, max size patterns, a lot like Heaven and Earth Designs. And so, I mean, look at that one color. It's got 48,992 of the 3072. That's insane. And so it's one of those things where, when I looked at it and I was looking through, and this pattern really caught my eye. I really wanted to do it. And when I originally purchased it, I was like, I want the maximum challenge, so I chose the blended thread option for the pattern. And after maybe like a couple of months, I was like, this is taking way too long for me, and I need to go back to the solid colors. So that I did, and I'm very happy that I did. Anyway, so if we zoom in here, now if you watch any of my other cross stitch with me's, you'll notice that I don't use the page markers on those, but I do on this one, at least right now, because it helps me kind of gauge my progress across the page. I think I'm still going to keep that for now, but we'll see as we go forward. But I haven't done the best job at filling in all the stitches that I need to fill in. Like the 3 pages I'm still working on, I still need to fill in some stuff. And it's also one of those things where even on my actual pattern, like there's stuff I haven't marked off. So I have not stitched hardly at all with Pattern Keeper on this pattern. Mostly what I've done is loaded this thing up and marked off what I have done or what I think I've done, and kind of progressing from there. So as I actually work on this more, this will get filled in and this will look a lot better. So anyway, this is going to be a long series. I'm hoping to do one of these every week, and maybe take a little bit of time every week, or most weeks, to stitch on this pattern, because it's going to take that kind of diligence and perseverance to kind of get there. So I'm going to zip in, so let me show you what I use to stitch. Ironically, I use the smallest hoop to stitch my very, very largest project. It's kind of funny, but it is, I find it most comfortable. That way I'm not carrying so much of the fabric, and the fabric is massive. I mean, the fabric is like 5 feet by 6 feet, or 6 feet by 5 feet. I actually got this large piece. I think this is what actually not drove me, but introduced me to a stitching shop here in Denver, Colorado. It is a fantastic cross-stitch resource, and I'm lucky to have one, half an hour away that can do anything and has everything. And she was able to source me the material and you know, help me kind of get going on this thing. So so that was awesome. I really, you know, that I wasn't sure how else I was going to, you know, this was 6-7 years ago when I got this pattern. So I was thinking, you know, how am I going to get this thing? It's crazy. So I have gathered together some colors, and that I know I'm going to need for this particular page. This is going to go slow today though, because I haven't put a stitch in this in quite a long time. So, you know, sometimes when you get back into working on a piece that you haven't worked on in a while, you tend to not quite, you know, it's kind of hard. I'm going to start off, I'm going to try, I didn't bring a needle with me. I have these little packages. I like using these little John James needles. I find that they work really well. And I use the tapestry needle. The tapestry needle has, come here, come here. Thankfully they're wedged in there pretty good. The tapestry needle has a rounded edge. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a rounded edge, works a lot better. And size 26, I'm going to try the size 26 on this, and we're going to kind of see how it goes. The lighting on this particular project today is a little weird. I'm hoping it's going to be okay for you guys, but this is going to be a learning. You know, each project seems to set up differently as far as my stitch with me. So I'm going to actually just grab a color. Come here, green. Come here, pistachio green, or whatever you are. 472. Swipe way far down, find 472, and then I'm going to zoom out a little bit here and see that, okay, my stitching is all up there. So let me just zoom in a little bit to help me find, and I'm going to just set this upright so that I can actually bring this into the picture here. Let me scoot up a little bit. I cannot believe I'm getting back to work on this. It's pretty awesome. So, yeah, it's massive. Over the years, people have asked me why I haven't done like a cross-country stitch, or, you know, the kind where you're stitching and you don't end your floss, you just let it hang, and then it's there for like the next time you need to use it. 200 and something colors, and it would just become a big mess. I am not very organized. I go through levels. I go through like, hey, I'm pretty organized, and then it just all falls apart when I do something different, when I start a new pattern, or I don't know. It ebbs and flows. I think you could definitely say that it ebbs and flows. All right, so now I just got to figure out where I'm going to be. I'm up top here. Oh, and so gridding on this is hugely important, and I think I'm going to go back to the old gridding pen for this. I have been using friction on my smaller, much smaller pieces. It's a lot easier to control. Suzu, I don't need you breathing on my video. Go, 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 go. I don't, you know, I kind of was, what was the word? You know, when you're using a smaller piece, it's easier to use heat to get rid of the entire, all the grid marks and whatnot. But this is such a large piece that I don't want to run the risk that I won't be able to get like everything perfectly done the way that I want to. So I need to track down some of those older gridding pens, and maybe, who knows, I will actually find something new and better than what I have been. So this is 2 over, that was terrible. This is 2 over 1. Let's see, choke up a bit. See the back. It gets kind of messy. It gets kind of messy back there. And I never stitch on a stitch with me exactly like I stitch when I'm just working on the pattern by myself. Just because on this one, like, I'm holding, well, just because of the way I'm holding it. And I mean, really, you know, you'd think that, wow, that's going to be really hard on your hand to do this. And it's not because I use such a small hoop, and the rest of the fabric is in my lap. So I mean, this is actually lighter than even the sun worship piece that I do, which I know sounds crazy, but it's true. So we're just gonna boop, 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 boop. And I'm like, am I even doing the right stuff? So yeah, as we go, I can actually tell. I'll be able to kind of fill in bits here and there's on stuff that I've already filled in. Let me just do this, mark that off. You can't quite see what I'm doing there, but I'm gonna go in and I can mark off that and that, which is very helpful for me. Good, good. That's marked off and that's marked off. It's gonna look like I stitched a lot today if I end up getting in there and I'm like, wow, look at all the stitches, and it's really not that. It's really just the where am I? There. Julie, Julie, what are you doing? Okay, so I can tell, like, and this, it's definitely a case of me not marking off the correct colors. It's hard, man. It's hard when you're doing something like this. There we go. Here we go. Right. Yeah, this 26 count needle is perfect for this. If you're using a needle and you're like, wow, it's really hard to press it in there, or it's super hard to thread, you know, the eye of the needle, then definitely adjust your needle size. I was using a larger, whoa, what did I do there? Oh, I stitched it very poorly. You stitched it poorly. Gotta tell you guys, I am not the role model in terms of quality of stitching. I am not. I get it done. It looks pretty good, but it's not an example of, wow, look at this artistry. Nope. And I know that. There we go. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. All right. Watch. I'm getting this needle caught, or the floss caught. It's trying to go into a, whatchamacallit, it's trying to go into knottage. So I'm really pleased to be home today. I have been out on the go almost every day this week, running errands and doing some stuff. Let's just say that, doing some stuff. And I haven't had a chance to really sit down and work on stuff the way that I am right now. So I guess you could call it a break from like the heavy stitching. Well, I've been on a break from the heavy stitching ever since I got distracted with, what did I get distracted with? See, now I'm distracting myself. I don't even know what I got distracted with. Oh, just kind of redoing the design and all this. And so I'm, like I said in the, I think it was the cowboy stitch with me, I've got to pull back a little bit and be realistic about what I can do and what I can't do. And as I stitch on this massive project, as well as just not stressing myself, not setting myself up for failure, You know, the cross stitch pattern business, I put a lot of time into it, but it's going to be one of those things where, you know, it's going to take a while to build up. You know, build up the business. Okay, so I got a little, in case you guys know, so I got a little knot at the base with a loop. And something like this, you can pull the loop out, and there's still a knot on the end. And what I do is I just take my needle, go in the middle, whoops, just pop it through. Just pop it out. And I do need to wash this piece. It is kind of faded, a little dusty and dreary. So I'll be doing that. Once I get the new gritting pen in, I'll wash it. Actually, I don't really probably need to get the new, I can probably just wash it anytime. Do do ba da ba 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 ba. Let me see here. I've got a stitch that I'm like, where should it be? Oh, I see. Come back here, needle. There we go. Like I said, I cannot emphasize how much Pattern Keeper makes this so much easier, because it highlights the stitches that you have yet to do, so it's really hard to miss a stitch. I mean, it happens, gosh knows it happens, but it happens a lot less with this versus when I would use paper patterns. There's always going to be a place for paper patterns, but for some of us who like technology, who embrace, well, I don't always embrace technology, but I like it. I like it when it helps me do things better and faster. Okay, so I'm gonna come over here a little bit more. And how much of a push is that? It's enough of a push, enough, what are you doing there? 310, I think you're 310. Well, I don't know why you're there. You just got caught up in the whole magic here. So I'm just gonna tuck this under a little bit so I don't leave too much of, no, that was way too much. There we go. So I don't have too much floss just kind of dangling in the wind there. Except now it turns into a little bit of a, there we go. Pulling it out there. I'll have to get rid of that when I move it. Do. What am I grabbing? I feel like I grabbed something there that I shouldn't have. I don't know if that was the 472 or what. Now, one way to make this project seem less imposing is to just use a small hoop. Focus on a small area. It's like eating an elephant, one bite at a time. One stitch at a time is my philosophy. All right. I am going to tuck this one in a little bit. I gotta find a little spot that I can push it out over the hoop there. There. All right. Mark this off. I don't think I'm done with this color quite yet. Let me zoom out. On my, I've got that, really just have that one color. Let me go see if I can find it. It's right there. And it's this one right here, so. Try not to leave a spot. There we go. Didn't get tucked in very well. I'm gonna tuck it in there. There we go. Snip, snip. Done, done. Hooray! All right. Alrighty. Let's see what to do. What to do. Let me zoom back out here a little bit. Grab another color and see which one I should work on. Let's see. Let me just get some of this out of the way. Let's try this 3/7. I'm trying to use stuff that's a little bit more colorful. Excuse me, so that I can stitch where you guys can see what I'm doing. Well, that's not good. I thought I had. Oh, it's way down here. I was like, I thought I had stitches to stitch. It's way. Oh, you guys can't even see what I'm talking about. It's way at the bottom. So that's good. It's a fair bit of stitching there. Alrighty. Alrighty. I took a quick break to have a little snack because I hadn't eaten yet today, and I did not want my stomach to start growling, and you guys would be able to hear it. That's just not cool. All right. So I'm going to try to untangle this. Wee. Wee. There we go. I do fairly small, you know, for this project. I do fairly small lengths of floss when I'm stitching. Just primarily because I know I'm gonna be stitching in such a tight little area. Oh, there's the. I gotta tell you, the lighting is tricky. It's so tricky because then I end up with big shadows, but I won't when I lift it up. So we'll be fine. I showed in the cowboy video my little trick for how to. Sometimes I have my hands shake a little bit, so how to actually thread a needle when you have slightly shaking hands. So I actually use both my hands in this process. So I'll just use one hand to support the other. Usually it's needle hand over floss hand, and I just hold them together like that. Let me just stop looking at the camera and actually just do this the way that I would. It's a light colored floss, so it's a little harder to get in there, but you see how I use both hands to steady myself. That trick works for a lot of things. Okay. Oh, it's way down here. That's right. It's way down here. Now, gotta try and find where I started here. Question is, sometimes I'll use, I should be by here. Yeah, on this one I can really tell that there is a lot of stitches that have been done but haven't been marked off. That always makes it a little harder to find the spot that you're supposed to be at. Did I do this already? Hold on. Yeah, I think I might have. Yeah, I think I might have there on that one. It's going to get better once we reach a point where the tablet truly coincides with the pattern. I think it's going to just make things so much easier. Here we go. Right here. Perfect. Yes. Perfection. baby in. Tuck that baby in. All right, let's see here. Let's do this. There. And then this. Here. There we go. Nice. Boop, 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 ba-doop, boop, 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 boop. Yikes. Zoinks. There we go there. It's nice. It feels nice just to fill these spots in. So nice. On Facebook, both Golden Kite and Heaven and Earth Designs have groups that will post works in progress, otherwise known as whips, or actually finished cross stitch from, and I'm always just astounded at the systems and that's the key, is the systems that these stitchers have set up that helps them stitch things faster. It's impressive. Very impressive. Inspiring, really. Go here. Bink, bink, bink. Won't come through. Look on the other side. Got a nice little, probably have a nice, let's just separate everything. All right, everybody, break it up, break it up. There we go. Yep, that tucked in nice. Here we go. Beat, boom, 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 boom. Do 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 do. Boop, 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 boop. All right. Let me just. Oops, take this down. I'm gonna just mark that off and then hold this, select all that, boom that, get that. Oh, thank you Windows for telling me again. Thank you Windows. All right, we're gonna zoom down and do a few more stitches down here. Oh, there we go. All right. Let's see, so how close or say how far, or I can actually see that I've done those stitches, because I can see them. Oh, so I gotta do this down here, so how much of a space, that's kind of a, from there to there, it's not bad, but it's also like every little bit that you can not have your floss hanging out is good. So I'm just gonna tuck it under to get it down there. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Look how dingy this is. This thing is so dingy. I gotta wash it. I have to wash it. I'm so glad that I got it. That stitching shop surged it when they did, and they did such a great job, because I mean, can you imagine like having a project for 7 years in a bag, all kind of pushed up the way that I do things, and say that it's you know, if it wasn't surged, it would be a mess. It'd have already unraveled everywhere. I'm talking and I don't remember what I was doing. Here we go. Here we go. Let's bring this a little closer. Here we go. Those two in there, and then come across. Do this one. Nice. It is a lot easier when stuff is properly highlighted. I like it. There we go. Come here, you. There we go. Oh, getting caught up again. Let's just take this needle out. There we go. As you stitch more and more, you'll feel when things aren't right with your floss. You'll feel it, maybe get a tiny little micro knot or get hung up on something, or you'll feel it in your hands. Well, I guess you won't feel it in your hands if you're using a, well, you'll feel it in your hand as you're pulling the floss through. It's not like I feel it I don't really feel it with this hand. All right, tuck this in a bit. Come here, you. There we go. There we go. All right, I don't need to use this anymore, so I'm going to put this back on my bobbin. Put it on my bobbin. Roll it. All right, get that over there. Come back down here. This is the most satisfying part of the whole thing. Mark. 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 All right. What else can I find? I keep forgetting to include you guys. Zip up. So this is 948. So it's stitching down here. I've got to fill in. I'm gonna work on that. Okay. Meow. 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 I mean, another hot one today, like mid-90s here. I always say around this time, like, hopefully this is our last bit of super hot weather, because I'm not a fan. All right, so zoom in. Zoom, 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 zoom. My first stitch is going to be up here. Where'd you go? Right. There's like a partial stitch here of something. I'm not sure what happened there. I'm going to cover that up with my actual stitch. I don't know what's there, but it feels funny. I'm just going to pop that stitch over that. And then gotta kind of come a little further ways down here, and right there is my next stitch, so I'm definitely going to need to tuck that bit. So much neater that way, because you can see on places where I didn't used to do this years ago, and I've got these really long, like all this long stuff. Oh, I can cut that off a little bit. I mean, it's just stuff can get caught on that. Hopefully when I stitch, I'll stitch over some of this and hold it down a little better, but still. Alrighty. we go. Got that and that. Here. Let's see, where am I? Bum, bum, bum. Right here is the next stitch. Find where the rest of the stitches are. They're way over here. Where's that stitch? It's not as far away that would make me, I think I would just tuck. It's faster if I just tuck it. All right, if I can find where I'm supposed to be. All right. Okay, it's right there. So yeah, not terrible. Not too terrible. Ah. There we go. Just trying to keep that underneath other floss there. Okay. Go. All right. Hooray. All right, I think that's, nope, actually there's a few more way up here. There's some, I'm gonna tie this, or I always say tie it off. It's kind of comes from, I used to fish, and so tying off a fly, well, not really tying off a fly, tying off on your hook, tying your fishing string, what's that word? Fishing line, tying your fishing line on your hook and tying it off. That's where I get that from. All right, come here, you, come here. There we go. Hold it to myself a little bit just to provide some counter pressure here. Go there. There we go. Dun dun da da. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, felt that knottage. Yep. Go back here and kind of pick away at it a little bit. Try to open up that knot. And when you get a knot in your floss and it leaves a little hook, go after that little hook. Try to get your needle in that little hook area and pull it gently a little bit, and then just sometimes you'll just loosen that knot just by, you'll feel it pop, and then you can take the rest of it and just pull it free. I always get knots in my floss. I'm not as well. Yeah, like I said, I should change my channel name to the Improper Stitcher. There we go there, and there we go. There we go. Cool. All right. Tie this off. Oh. There's my 948. Put this this back on the floss, on the bobbin. Okay, do I have, I've got a few other colors here. Do I have anything that I could stitch on? Let's zoom back here. All right, so I'm gonna look at a couple different colors and see if I have a good amount of stitching to do to show you. That's pretty good. Do I have anything else to compare it to? Ooh, now that one I actually have quite a few to do. So let me double check that I do have those stitches to do. Because I get fooled sometimes thinking that I got all those to do, and then I end up not having all those to do. And I think that's kind of what this one is. It looks like I've got a lot, but I don't. But the nice thing is I can go in and mark them all off. It's gonna look like I stitched a lot today, but don't tell anybody. Here we go. There we go. All right, well then that's just like that's a bummer. But it's also good because I'm like, hey, look at all the stuff I stitched. So we're gonna do some 3033. I saw my needle. My needle went over there. I probably knocked it on the floor because I am so skilled at knocking my needles on the floor. I put it here. You can't see it. I put it there, and then I need to put like a needle minder or something there so that I can, wait, how did it get way over there? Is that it? Or, no, looks like that's a 24. Oh. Yep. I got mad skills when it comes to losing stuff. Seriously, like, the needles are impossible for me. Oh, there it is. I see it's on the floor. And it's like a foot away from me on the floor. It was like flying. Flew away. And now I can't see it. Hello, Mr. Needle. Where did you go? Oh, there you were. Oh, man. Oh, brother, kids. Wait, is that the proper needle? I think it's actually smaller. That's a... Man. I gotta clean this floor, too. I'll find like 5 needles when I do it. Oh, in the interest of not spending all your time helping me look for my needle, we're gonna just jump and grab another 26. This is how and why I go through so many needles, because I should have a little needle minder always available, and I don't. I have some bad habits that, oh, there it is. There's the needles right there. Haha. There we go. I knew it was around here somewhere. Alrighty. Yeah, by my pattern keeper, it looks like I've done 81 stitches today, which, I mean, I've marked off 81 stitches. That seems pretty cool. All right, so this is up here. Ooh. So here is a stitch that needs to be done. There. There. actually going to again take this opportunity to fill in a bunch more, to mark off stuff that I know has been stitched. Okay, let me, come here, needles. Needle minder, where are you? Put it way over here by itself. All right, let me pull this down here. You guys can help me out while I'm doing this. So I'm going to come up to this area because I did that one and that one. Bump, 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 bump. Okay, so I know like that's been, I can tell that's been done. At least there it's been done. Let me move this up a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Fingers there. Okay. Okay, all that. I'm sitting here thinking, oh, I'm going to have so much to mark off. And actually, the reality is it's not really as much as I thought it was. Okay, I have done this one. I've also done that one. Oh, it's actually pretty cool. Awesome. Okay, well, just a few, but every little few helps when you're looking at a 10 by 10 square. Makes it go a lot faster. I lost what I was doing. 3033. All right, let me find. Find my next batch of where this is getting stitched. And you're still there. Thanks, man. Here we go. Here we go. Ooh, my pattern keeper battery is starting to die. Well, that's, I pulled that all the way through. Good gracious. Where was I? Oh, down here. All right, we're gonna just zip through this last little bit. Battery's starting to die on the pattern keeper, and Bailey wants in from outside. Where? She'll stay outside for a long time, but when she wants in, she really wants in. I can already see that this is the next stitch to put. So we're gonna, actually, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this opportunity. Well, maybe not, because it's hard to, sometimes when I'm using, you know, it's the downfall of using the small hoop is sometimes you can't really get around something that you need to get around. Where is the boop 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 boo. Okay, let me mark this off and then bring this down here. Aha, I see now. And put this stitch here. There. And then here. Brilliant. Fantastico. I like it. All right, guys, I think that's gonna finish this up for today before my pattern keeper, well, before my tablet dies. It says that we got 90 stitches done today. Yay! We know we didn't actually do all that, but we marked off 90 stitches, which is good. I'm now at 7.75%, so that's dramatic progress. I hope to have more of this stitched before our next Stitch With Me. I'd like to put this one out on Saturdays or Sundays, but I'm shooting for Saturdays. And I hope that you guys got some good stitching done while you're hanging out with me. I do thank you for that. I appreciate you guys very much. Check out the description below for information about checking this pattern out on Golden Kite, as well as information on my, I have a Patreon account and also my cross stitch pattern design store. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day and happy stitching.